Welcome everyone. Last week we looked at some silver dollars that I bought, a really neat collection, a lot of proof lights and things, and I got them conserved, had to prepare them, and we went through a little bit of the details about that. It's kind of like the inner workings of a coin company, and we get a lot of really interesting things. Those silver dollars now have been sent for grading at PCGS. Probably get them back in a couple weeks, and when we get them back, we'll do a big reveal on those with the grades and my thoughts on how they turned out, and some details about those coins. Should be kind of fun because I'm hoping to have them ready since some of them been walked through, so I should have them ready for the Pittsburgh A&A World's Fair of Money. As mentioned earlier, we get a lot of really neat things that come across our company. We get calls from people, everything from a double die penny that's not to an incredible hoard of gold coins. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now this is a group of coins you can kind of see before me. We're going to do some close-ups later. But this is a group of 49 gold coins that are from a shipwreck. That's actually a famous shipwreck. It was the Shipwreck that sank off the coast of Delaware, I believe, in 1798. It was a pretty famous ship. It was sank there. They thought it was a big treasure. We'll talk more about that later. I'll give you more details about the specifics of the shipwreck. But it sank in 1798 and it was not discovered until the 1980s. So almost 200 years it sat on the ocean floor. And when they found the treasure, there was not nearly as much as they'd hoped for. So it wasn't like it wasn't like the Etosha with billions and billions on it. And I'm pretty sure that the people who, when they were looking for the treasure, spent more looking for it than they recovered in coins. It was a big disappointment. But today it's pretty exciting because one of the heirs of the person who had funded that shipwreck expedition kept the coins for 35 years, and just recently we acquired them to be able to bring them to market. So this is a group in front of me of almost 50 gold coins from this shipwreck. And I think what it'll be really, really neat to look at is these are the coins before they're conserved. And as we talked last week about the silver dollars, the Morgan dollars, it's usually a simple process. You dip the coins in jewel luster and either come out nice, and hopefully they're nice and bright and shiny. These gold coins are a little more different, and we'll do a little bit more close-up views of the coins later. But some of the coins actually don't require any conservation. We've got some that are like beautiful on both sides. Then we got some that really are going to require quite a bit of conservation. You can see this coin is kind of like black on one side, or rusty, different colors. See, some of these coins don't really require any conservation because there's nothing on them. Some of the coins, like this one, you will see it has a lot of, I would say, material adhering to it. I'm not sure if it's rust from other things on the ship, probably rust from the metal that's with the ship when it disintegrated. But these will need to be conserved because you can barely make out what's on one side of them. Now, I've started work on this project. I would do what I would call light conservation, because if these were silver coins, I don't know how to do like the reverse osmosis, or I'm not even sure what they call it. There's ways of doing silver coins that are really complicated. I don't know how much to do that. Gold coins are fairly easy to conserve because gold, as we all know, is kind of impervious to it doesn't rust. The only thing that happens is the material gets on the surface. And what we're going to be doing with these coins, we're going to be soaking them in what's called CLR. It's a rust remover. And I take these coins and we'll leave them in a solution of that probably for about a week, maybe 3 or 4 days, depending on how much time I have. And we let the coins soak. And most of this material, believe it or not, just kind of floats off. I did one coin, so you can see there's 50 coins here. I would say of the 50 coins, probably a third of them will need no conservation. The coins are fairly nice the way they are. Maybe they were conserved 30 years ago when they were found. I'm not exactly sure. But and then some of the coins, we may actually leave some of the material and the rust on them. Like this is a good example, because some people, when they buy these coins later, may really like that as an artifact. So you can see that coin is really kind of neat. But it's got a little bit of rust on it, but it doesn't obscure the coin too much, and actually adds a lot of charm to it. I think some of the people that like shipwreck coins would really like that. Of course, I don't think anyone's going to like that. It's because that you can barely see, make out the design. I picked out one of the coins that was one of the worst ones that that had this I call rust on them, and I let it soak for about a week, and it came out amazing. This is probably one of the best conditioned coins in the hoard. It's a escudo gold coin, almost an ounce of gold, and there's kind of what it looks like. You can see it's mint condition, really, really pretty, beautiful coin. The back of it is just stunning, just beautiful coin. This will probably be one of the great treasures of this Shipwreck coins because the coin is mint condition. It's dated 1796, and this coin was made just a couple years before the ship sank. So that's probably why its condition is so perfect. It's probably it just been made, a couple years before that. Some of these other coins, these are like, this one here is like, I think 1760 something. So some of these coins actually had been circulated for quite a while. One thing that's interesting too about these, the smaller gold coins, there's quite a few spade guineas in the group, and this is a British gold coin that was made by King George III. I think they were made in the 1770s to 1790s, and on the back of it, the reason I call it a spade guinea is because you can see the shield in the back. You can look at it, and it looks like a spade, or like the ace of spades, for instance, looks just like that. So it's a very popular coin. People love spade guineas, and that's a neat series. And there's a lot of different dates represented here, so there'll be a lot of variety. So we're going to be almost like a little bit of a cooking show, like a baking show. I think what we're going to do, it's kind of like we did with our silver dollars. I introduce these to you, and then after I do this conservation project, it'll probably take a week of my time, off and on working on them. And then we will do maybe a coin by coin study to see how they turned out after the conservation's ready. And of course, if you're watching this, if you want to see the coins, we'll try to have them at the Pittsburgh A&A that's coming up at the end of August. That may be a little bit quick timeline, but we're hoping to get them done. We're having NGC is going to do a special label for them. It's going to have the Shipwreck label made for them. There's also around 200 silver coins, 200 or 300 silver coins. But those will probably take a lot longer to conserve because silver is harder to conserve. Now, one thing that I think that's really, really cool about this, people love Shipwreck stuff. I love it. And this when we bought from the family also, there's several hundred musket balls. So these are basically bullets from the 1700s. I wouldn't want to get hit with one of those. I can imagine that would not be very good. That'd be pretty fatal for it probably if it hits you. But it's made out of lead, and it's a nice size thing. And then also there's several hundred nails from the ship. I'm not sure why they say these exactly, but they're really kind of neat. They're stamped from the ship, and they're it's kind of neat the design. You can see they're handmade. So that's a nail from 1790s. So that's really neat artifact. What we'll probably end up doing is when we bring these coins to market in a few months, we may maybe for a big gold coin may throw in a musket ball, for instance, like an artifact from the Shipwreck. So I think this is, to me, like it's not as a lot of you guys know, I handle the Kentucky Gold Hoard. That was really a great thing, and that was 800 coins. This is much smaller. It's around 50 coins, but it's from a documented shipwreck, and as far as I know, no coins from this shipwreck have ever been offered before. So this will be really exciting for people who love shipwreck coins. And I kind of like, this is really what's great about social media, is to be able to, instead of just bringing the coins to market, you'll be able to be part of the journey of how they came to me, like in this state, and then the steps will go along the way to where you finally see them, beautiful after they've been conserved in the NGC holder and when they're ready for market. So I think you'll hopefully find it educational, find it interesting. These eight escudos are, this one here is dated 1795. There's another 1795 and 1796. So these were all fairly newly made, sometime before the ship sank. Some of the other smaller gold coins are earlier, but we'll give more of a coin by coin analysis later. We're going to let them soak for a while, and hopefully that'll all come out fairly easily. If they come out as nice as this nicest coin, it's going to be fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the little glimpse into, I don't get this much excitement every day, but we get a lot of really cool things, and it's a lot of fun to share it with you. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you in a week or so.